What's going on, everyone? Sports back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about Dylan Cease as the Toronto Blue Jays have landed the first big free agent, as Dylan Cease has been signed by the Blue Jays on a 7-year, $210 million deal. That includes deferrals, which puts the contract at about $26 million per season instead of $30. So a little bit of money deferred in this contract, about $30 million, just under $30 million. But Dylan Cease, one of the best on the free agent market, of course, former San Diego Padre, who spent some time with both sides of Chicago, but was a good White Sox. But Dylan Cease is one of the better pitchers in baseball when he's on. He's the best strikeout guy in the MLB. He is one of 4 active MLB players to have, I believe, 200 consecutive strikeout seasons. I believe that's what the stat was. It's him, Chris Sale, Justin Verlander, and Max Scherzer. But Cease is tremendous. Like I said, big strikeout guy. In the last 3 seasons in the MLB, ranks first in strikeouts, second in games started, and 8th in strikeouts per 9 innings. His strikeouts per 9 innings was leading baseball last season, just Garrett Crochet behind him. But his ERA hasn't looked great in San Diego, but you got to take into account that defense is one of the worst in baseball. If you remember when the Blue Jays played the Padres, maybe in July or so, the Padres defensively were really bad. They were handing the Blue Jays runs, and a lot of them don't go as errors, but they're plays that Blue Jays defenders make because they have one of the better defenses in baseball. So his ERA in the mid-4s, I think, will look a lot better with the Blue Jays. But overall, Dylan Cease, was one of the bigger names on the free agent pitching market. So the Jays land one. And I know, was he my favorite option? No, of course not. Tatsuya Imai and Framber Valdez are two of the best, the top 2, and Valdez one of the best pitchers in the league, and Imai quietly being talked about as the next Yamamoto, maybe better. But the Blue Jays have gone too many off seasons of going for the biggest name, and that biggest name always pushes it out and drags it out really long, and then they don't come to Toronto, and the Blue Jays ultimately get left with nothing as these guys go before. So the Jays said, "The hell with this. We're going to go out there and we're going to land our guy now." Now, Dylan Cease is he had one of the best seasons in all of baseball back in 2022. He pitched 32 games. He had a complete game shutout. He actually had him back-to-back years with the White Sox. But in 2022, he was 14-8 with a 2.2 ERA. That was his best season in the big leagues. Just tremendous numbers. And, he really, when he's on, like I said, one of the best in the league. And, the Jays are hoping to get a guy that's going to be on a nightly basis with good defense behind him. That's what they're investing in here, and I really like the move. Like I said, I would rather Imai, I would rather Valdez, but I like just going out there, landing your guy, getting Cease, because we all know Ross Atkins has tried to get Cease a number of times and has failed to do that. We know he loves Dylan Cease, so Atkins is going out there, getting his guy early. A Scott Boras client signing before Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, and before the winter meetings is super rare. So Cease clearly sees something in this team, excited to be a Blue Jay. Ross Atkins goes out, gets his guy that he wants, that he needs. And the Blue Jays have a very good rotation moving forward. And with Barrios probably going to opt out, I would imagine, with Bieber and Gausman pending free agents, you needed to lock up a guy long-term to pair with you Savage as a 1-2 punch if you can't retain those 3 guys. So I'm really excited about this starting pitching rotation, and good move by the Blue Jays. Go out there, land their guy now, pay him, and get that deal done before anyone else can, and bidding wars start And guys start going off in winter meetings, and then you're left with nothing, like I said. But now, what does this mean moving forward is, I think, the biggest question Jays fans have. Now, I don't think we're going to, really be in the... We might, because the Blue Jays are spenders. We know that. And anyone complaining about it being too much money, is it pricey? Yes. But does it matter? No. The Jays ownership is clearly willing to spend money. They don't care about money. They just went to the World Series, Game 7, all kinds of revenue. They know that, the more winning, the more money, so they're going to spend. They didn't spend $500 million on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to just stop spending. They're going to continue to spend. But I wouldn't imagine they're going to sign a premier starting pitcher on top of Cease. Could they still do it? Sure. But I think they, go the route of more of maybe bringing back Max Scherzer or Chris Bassett. I think that's the route they go if they try and bring in another starting pitcher. Would I be stunned if they went out and got Imai? No, but it's unlikely, and I don't think that they're going to be putting too much stock into another high-end arm. Now, could they still go out and sign a guy like Edwin Diaz, Ryan Helsley, or Devin Williams? 100%. This doesn't change their pursuit in the bullpen, I don't think. They were always going to spend on a starting pitcher, no matter what. Their plan was always a high-end premier top 2 starting pitcher, a really good closer, a really high-leverage bullpen arm, and whether it's Bo Bichette or Kyle Tucker or a really big-name bat. It was those 3. So this doesn't change... in my opinion, this doesn't change in their pursuit of Bichette, potentially Edwin Diaz, or Kyle Tucker. Are they going to land both Bichette and Tucker? Probably not. But I don't think this means now, Bichette's leaving. I think this is just, Ross Atkins, really liking Dylan Cease and wanting to get this done and get this piece of work done and take some weight off your back, and not feel like you have to get another starter now. If they do, great. If not, they're good with what they have. They have Lauer as well, as a number 6, So, but like I said, what this means for the rest of, their offseason plans in terms of Bichette or Tucker and Edwin Diaz, I don't think it changes. I still think they're going to heavily pursue those guys, and they're still going to spend, and there's going to be at least one more big money signing. That's my prediction. But love the signing of Cease. Really excited to see what he does. 7 years, $210. He's going to be a J for a long time. 29 years of age, he'll be a J till he's past 36. Fired up about it. Can't wait to see what else happens in the next 2 weeks or so. It's really going to heat up with the winter meetings. Let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts on the Jays going out there and spending big, signing Dylan Cease. Let me know all the good stuff down below in the comment section. As always, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll see you guys on the next video. And as always, let's go Blue Jays.